It was a peaceful evening as 23-year-old Ethan lay in his bed, the soft glow of moonlight casting shadows across his room. He was a young, handsome man with dreams that often took him to strange places. But tonight, something felt different. As he closed his eyes, sleep quickly overtook him. Suddenly, Ethan was no longer in his bed. He blinked in confusion. The room, the walls, the ceiling, none of it was familiar. He was standing in a dense forest, tall trees towering above him. The air was thick with magic, and strange, shimmering creatures darted between the branches. His heart pounded in his chest, the hairs on his neck standing up. "What? Where am I?" he whispered to himself. A voice interrupted his thoughts. "You're in the Realm of Darnath," said a woman's voice, smooth, but with a hint of urgency. Ethan spun around to see a figure emerge. She was tall, with flowing silver hair, and her eyes glowed a soft, ethereal blue. "My name is Lyra. You are not supposed to be here." Ethan stared at her, disoriented. "What do you mean?" I was just in my bed." Lyra sighed, glancing around warily. "The realm of Darnath is no ordinary world. It's a land of magic, but it's falling apart. The balance is broken. We need your help to fix it." "Me?" Ethan asked, incredulously. She nodded. "Yes, the ruby crystal, the heart of this land, is lost. Whoever controls it can restore Darnath, but also destroy it. The good and the bad are fighting for it. If we don't find it first, everything will fall into darkness." Before Ethan could respond, two figures stepped from the shadows. A muscular man with a battle-worn face, wearing armor, and a young girl with an aura of fire around her. The man, Ben, nodded toward Ethan. "We are here to help," Ben said. "We've been searching for the ruby crystal for months, but we need someone who can survive the trials." "I'm not a warrior," Ethan said, shaking his head. "I don't even know how I got here." Lyra gave him a small smile. "Don't worry. You'll find your strength. But first, we must go." The group set off through the forest, with Lyra leading the way. Ethan still couldn't understand what was happening, but something deep inside him felt the pull of destiny. As they ventured deeper, the forest became darker, and strange noises echoed in the distance. Suddenly, they were ambushed. A pack of shadowy creatures, snarling and hissing, attacked. Ethan's heart raced, but Ben stepped forward, drawing a gleaming sword. With a few swift movements, he cut down the first wave of beasts. The young girl, Mara, conjured fiery bolts from her hands, sending the creatures scattering. Ethan watched in awe as they fought, but then one of the creatures lunged toward him. Panic gripped his chest as it bared its fangs. But just as it was about to strike, Ethan instinctively raised his hand. A burst of light erupted from his palm, blinding the creature. It vanished into smoke. How did I do that?" Ethan gasped, looking at his glowing hand. Lyra smiled. "You're learning. The magic is inside you." They continued on, battling through treacherous terrain. The further they went, the stronger Ethan's powers became. His confidence grew with each challenge, from fending off enchanted wolves to solving ancient riddles that unlocked hidden paths. The bond between him, Lyra, Ben, and Mara deepened. They were no longer just companions. They were a team. Finally, after what felt like days of trials, they reached the temple where the ruby crystal was hidden. The crystal rested atop a stone pedestal, glowing brightly, but it was guarded by a dark sorcerer, his eyes glowing with malice. "I've been waiting for you," the sorcerer sneered. "You think you can take the ruby crystal and restore this broken world? You're wrong." Ethan stepped forward, a strange calm washing over him. He felt the power within him surge, fueled by the friendship and courage he had discovered on his journey. He raised his hand, and the light within him grew, battling the sorcerer's dark magic. "You will not win," Ethan said, his voice steady. "The crystal belongs to the land, not to you." With one final burst of energy, Ethan unleashed the full force of his magic. The sorcerer screamed, his form disintegrating as the light enveloped him. The ruby crystal shined brighter than ever, its glow filling the room with warmth. As Ethan touched the crystal, the world around him began to shift. The land, once dark and broken, started to heal. The trees regained their vibrant green, the creatures no longer hostile, and the skies cleared. Peace had returned to Darnath. Lyra, Ben, and Mara smiled at him, proud of the hero he had become. "You did it," Lyra said, her voice full of admiration. But before Ethan could respond, the world began to blur again. His heart sank. "You have to go," Mara said softly. "The realm is saved, but you belong in your world." With a flash, Ethan found himself back in his bed, his heart still racing. He sat up, the memories of Darnath lingering in his mind. Had it all been a dream? Or had he truly saved another world? The answer didn't matter. Ethan knew that his life had changed forever. The adventure, the magic, the friends, he would never forget them. And with that, he lay back down, knowing that the journey was far from over.